And what don't these people learn? Letitia James is at it again. Today, she announced that she, via the New York Attorney General's office, along with D.C. and 22 other states, is suing HHS for cutting $11 billion in mental health and addiction treatment facilities. Okay, $300 million of that is going to come right out of New York's pocket. And boy, did Letitia James completely misrepresent the reality of those cuts.
9/11 responders and survivors is on track to lose the doctors needed to certify new cancer diagnosis. 9/11 heroes will be denied care because this administration chose to fire their doctors.
Look, that cut money has nothing to do with 9/11. Sure, New York politicians will probably take money away from the 9/11 victims to refund those drug programs, and then they'll blame it on Trump. But trust me, none of the cuts that originated from HHS were focused on cutting 9/11 health care. This is so disingenuous. But this is Letitia James, perpetually in campaign mode. And I'm kind of impressed, actually, today in a little way. She usually just raises her voice. She makes the case by increasing the volume of her voice in the absence of any facts, like last week.
And you want me to sit in my seat and stand idly by and allow this craziness to happen? You could come after me if you want, but you elected me to stand up. You elected me to use the law. You elected me to go to court. You elected me to continue to challenge this administration. You elected me to stand up for the least of God's children. You elected me to continue fighting on. And I will fight on.
Yikes. You would think as a lawyer she would know that yelling is not illegal. But look, here's my thing about addiction treatment. And honestly, folks, like I'm sure some of you are commenting at home on this. I can speak to this since I have dealt with my own fair share in my family, actually quite a bit of it. I'm all for getting people clean, but at what cost? This is not the federal government's purview. It's just not. That's why the federal government never legalized hard drugs. You might be able to make the case that states could fund this if they wanted to, but there's no case to sue and make the federal government foot this bill just because they had in the past. And most of these states on this list suing HHS, you got Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, my home state, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Michigan, Maryland, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin, and the District of Columbia. Now, what do all those places have in common? Many of those states also decriminalize the ones I was talking about. They decriminalize hard drug use, folks. I mean, that's the problem. That's the crux of Letitia James's lawsuit here, is that they decriminalized hard drug use. I know, shocker, that drug use went up when they needed that, and then they have more rehab there, and then they're tapping the federal government for more money for the rehab. And before you know it, through some like jilted liberal logic for therapy, they have crack pipe vending machines, and then taxpayers are footing the bill for that. Those states, they created a problem, and now they want federal dollars to solve it? Like, no thanks. Look, of course, some of that money was probably going to actual mental health and drug rehab, but at what cost? Was it being used efficiently? Probably not. I mean, obviously not if RFK felt that it needed to be cut. You just heard him in the White House a little while ago. He gets this. He comes from a family with substance abuse in it. This lawsuit from Letitia James kind of shows like the two sides of the parties and will likely lead to the argument that needs to be heard eventually. Is health care a right? It's not, and you can't make the case that it is. Oh, someone did a lot of drugs, and therefore, they need help. As a case to innocently force everyone else who doesn't do drugs or need help to pay for it. It's not a winning argument. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. People got their own problems. They shouldn't be footing the bill for other people's drug addictions. Again, sorry, not sorry. But the other fatal flaw here is that those 22 states that are choosing to take on this lawsuit, they chose Letitia James to represent them? Again, Letitia James, if you're going to swing at people, you better have your own house in order. Because you see, it turns out when you go after people, they fight back. And that's why you're now under investigation, because you decided to lob crazy, insane accusations at Donald Trump. Look, I don't care if you secured a conviction. It was from a judge whose daughter worked for his opponents. Doesn't count in my book, and it will be overturned. I'd bet the farm on that. But your legal activism, your grandstanding like this, led to people finding out that you listed rental properties as your primary residence in another state, by the way. It's like 400 miles away from you where you actually live and where you actually work. You listed a 5-unit home as a 4-unit building for tax purposes. Then you went after the most popular Republican president in the history of America, and you thought no one would notice the fact that you're doing almost the exact same count that you accused Trump of? Only they actually have proof on you. Just go count the mailboxes. And one would assume that you have to live in the state that you're the attorney general of. I mean, obviously. But look, I tell them, you guys want to go tit for tat on the investigation front? By all means. Trump's like the most investigated human in the history of ever. You libs are the only people who are going to have anything new opened up against you, like AOC, too. I mean, again, if you're going to declare war on Trump, what do you expect? So she goes out. Remember this. She gave this PowerPoint seminar for illegal immigrants on how to evade ICE, which, by the way, is obstruction of justice according to 18 U.S. Code Chapter 73. It's also a violation of 8 U.S. Code 1324, which is aiding and abetting illegal immigration and harboring and concealing non-citizens. So Tom Homan comes out and says, like, hey, this is the law. We might arrest you. And like the spoiled little millennial that she is, she goes and does it anyway, and then puts it on the internet, and then challenges Homan to come arrest her.
Because I'm using my free speech rights in order to advise people of their constitutionally guaranteed protections, and he may want to do it again today. And to that I say, come for me. You're going to have to come for me.
Baffo. And why would you taunt Tom Homan? And the thing that really gets me, her lawlessness, these seminars, is being paid for by our tax dollars. You can't be paid by the federal government. Take more government funding to teach people how to break the laws that your body of government writes. You say free speech, AOC. Okay, let's kind of game this one out. Can I get together with a bunch of people and plan a terror attack? Is that free speech? No, of course not. Can I teach someone how to kill someone? I mean, that's what I did as a SEAL. We killed people. So answer me this, AOC. Can I teach someone that I know for a fact is going to use that knowledge to break the law, because the people who attended your course that you taught knew they were going to use it to evade the law? So by your logic and using the free speech argument, can I teach someone who I know was going to go kill someone how to kill someone? It's the same legal concept that would probably get me arrested, and it should. If I know they're going to use my lesson to break the law. This is after she sent a letter. This is great. She sent a letter to the DOJ demanding to know if she's under investigation in the first place. Right. Then we'll just get right on those demands. Bartender from Boston. The only thing crazier than doing these things is thinking that you have an actual legal case here. It's like Harvard. Trump says, hey, Harvard, don't do DEI anymore, by the way, which was found to be unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. We hate you, Donald Trump. Don't tell us what to do. Okay, fine, I'm taking your funding. You can't do that. We're going to sue you. It's like a toddler with a lawyer at their disposal. NPR, another one. Their parent company, now going to sue Trump to get the taxpayer money back because they think they're so star-spangled awesome?
If you think PBS is biased, compared to who? Name one news organization in America, and I shouldn't be defending us, I get paid by PBS, but I'm going to do it, who's more straight down the line than we are.
Not me, maybe. I mean, like, look, if you guys are so virtuous and so righteous, get your own funding, like every other media network out there. If your product is so awesome, then you should be able to just shop it around on the open market and get regular ad revenue like we do here. But you can't because your product is garbage. You guys censored the Hunter Biden laptop. That was wrong. Told us mask work. Also, that was very wrong. That social distancing was going to save us all. Turned out that was based on about zero science. You told us the Biden's economy was great. It really wasn't. You staked everything on the fact that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia in 2016 and gave airtime even to that theory in 2024. It was all wrong. And you want $500 million more from me and you're going to sue to get it? Good luck in that suit. Because a circuit court just ruled in a similar case in favor of U.S. Agency for Global Media and Voice of America that, one, the people complaining about Trump defunding them had no merits, no standing, and wasn't even being litigated in the correct courts. They were judge shopping to get the answer they wanted. That all these courts are overstepping and that, yes, Trump can defund you. That's what the circuit court just said. So bring it, Trump haters. He's batting 900 in these lawsuits, maybe even more.